I gotta take this down. Mike. There we go. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening to the January 24th council meeting of the City of Mayfield Heights. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Balstraya.
Present.
Mr. DeJohn.
Here.
Mr. Mano.
Here.
Mr. Monaco.
Here.
Mrs. Sabetta.
Here.
Mrs. Snyder.
Here.
Mrs. Teresi.
Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Next is the approval of the minutes from our special organizational meeting on January 10th. I hope everyone has had time to read these minutes over. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Move.
Moved by Mr. Balstraya, second by Mr. Monaco. Are there any changes, amendments, or deletions to those minutes? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay? These minutes have been approved as written. Next, we will move to the approval of the minutes from our Committee of the Whole meeting on January 10th, 2022, and I hope everyone has had time to read these minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Tressi,
Second.
second by Mrs. Sabetta. Are there any changes, amendments, or deletions to those minutes?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Monaco.
I believe there's a couple changes that should be made. The first one is, right at the beginning, it says that they received preliminary city planning and zoning approval. I do not believe that we received any zoning approval. Secondly, the actual number for the square footage of the building is 30,814. I think we have listed it 33,201. Also, because if you add the community center, which is at 13,783, the aquatic center is, the rec center is 13,123, and the aquatic center is 3,908. I would come up with 30,814. And I believe that the pool deck is not even included in this figure, so we don't know exactly what it is. Although I believe that somewhere around 36,593 square feet. Also, the gym size is quoted in 9,000 square feet. And it's actually, this was on the drawing that we were submitted, and I have a copy right here. And I believe that the actual measurement is 9,184 square feet. Also, the drawing that we received here, the dimension for the same gym is 6,800 square feet. So we have figures that they don't agree on any of these papers, so I don't know exactly which one is correct.
Mr. Monaco, did you want to amend these minutes? Or I mean, they were taken from the actual meeting.
Yes.
So we have to make an addendum to the,
Correct.
to this.
We should amend them to
But we-
actually reflect the actual numbers.
Okay, we can't really amend something that wasn't in the meeting minutes,
Well,
right?
thank you, Madam President. I think, what's in the actual minutes is what was said, not what is on the actual paper copy. So let us look over that. We'll check it and see which is correct.
Okay,
And
I
we can
just
always
wanted-
amend
We
it.
can always amend it.
I just want to point out that those numbers are incorrect.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Madam President, let's not approve it until it's checked out? I'd like to make that motion.
There's a motion to not approve this evening and a second by Mr. Mano. Okay. All in favor signify by,
Okay, we can't make a motion in the negative we're hearing from our clerk of council. So we can make a motion to wait for the amended minutes to come out before we vote on this, can't we?
Has there been a motion to approve?
That's assuming the minutes are incorrect. I think the minutes were taken right from the tape. So, I'm questioning whether or not they're incorrect or not. Where did you get your numbers from, Mr. Monaco?
I got it directly from Mr. Trotta. And also, if you look at the minutes, they were submitted to the Planning Commission on 12/20/21. The number is 33,000.
Okay, I'm just saying, those minutes reflect what happened at this meeting, not at the Planning Commission meeting. So I think it would be proper to just hold these minutes for this meeting and go back and see if those numbers are incorrect or not. Because I'm sure Mrs. Lloyd took those numbers right from what was said at the meeting.
Mr. Murphy, I agree that the numbers are correct as are written, although I am disputing the fact that those numbers are not correct.
Okay. Why don't you just hold them for a meeting and we'll double check and make sure that the numbers in the minutes are those that were projected and reflected at the meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion to hold.
I need a motion to hold these minutes from this evening's meeting.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Mano, second by Mr. DeJohn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay? Okay, we will hold these minutes until further information can be provided. Next is the approval of the minutes from our council meeting on January 10th, 2022. Has everyone had time to read these minutes? Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Monaco, second by Mr. DeJohn. Are there any changes to these minutes? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. These minutes have now been approved as written. At this time, I would like to make a motion to deviate from tonight's original agenda and move Resolution 2022-10 to be read now.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Balestrea
Second.
and second by Mrs. Tressi. Roll call on deviating from the original agenda.
Mr. Mano,
Yes.
Mr. Balstrea.
Yes.
Mr. DeJohn,
Yes.
Mrs. Sabetta,
Yes.
Mrs. Teresi,
Yes.
Mr. Monaco.
Yes.
Mrs. Snyder.
Yes. So this evening, we have a special presentation, and I would like to read this proclamation. Mr. Murphy, can I have Chief Bittner, please come forward? Resolution number.
Mayor's going to read it.
No, I know. 2022-10, Mr. Murphy.
Resolution 2022-10, a resolution awarding a proclamation and commending Chief Fred W. Bittner upon his retirement from the Police Department of the City of Mayfield Heights, Ohio. First reading.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Mano,
Second.
second by Mrs. Sabetta. Roll call on the motion to suspend.
Mr. DeJohn.
Yes.
Mr. Monaco.
Yes.
Mrs. Teresi.
Yes.
Mr. Balstrea.
Yes.
Mr. Mano.
Yes.
Mrs. Sabetta.
Yes.
Mrs. Snyder.
Yes. At this point, I just want to commend you on your years of service, Chief. Your hard work and dedication will be missed. Thank you for all that you've done for our city and for all of us. All right. Roll call on the motion to approve.
Is there a second, a first and a second for that?
Oh,
Second.
move. Second, Mr. DeJohn.
First.
And first, Mrs. Sabetta. Okay. Roll.
Mrs.
Go ahead.
Mrs. Teresi.
Yes.
Mrs. Sabetta.
Yes.
Mr. Monaco.
Yes.
Mr. Mano.
Yes.
Mr. DeJohn.
Yes.
Mr. Balstrea.
Yes.
Mrs. Snyder.
Yes. Resolution 2022-10 has been approved. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a proclamation presented to Chief Fred Bittner in recognition of his service to the city of Mayfield Heights. Whereas Chief Bittner prepared for his career in law enforcement by attaining a Bachelor of Arts from Myers University and a master's degree in criminal justice from Troy University, Chief Bittner has worked in law enforcement for over 30 years. And whereas Chief Bittner was hired as a full-time patrol officer in Mayfield Heights on June 28th, 1989, he was promoted to sergeant on June 17th, 1996. On August 2nd, 1999, he earned a promotion to lieutenant and was promoted to chief of police on November 2nd, 2012. And whereas Chief Bittner, driven by his passion, served numerous roles within the department. He was a field training officer, the commander of the SPAN crisis response, and earned professional recognition graduating from the 207th session of the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. And whereas Chief Bittner initiated several programs within the department, including the Bicycle Patrol Unit and the Honor Guard Unit. And whereas Chief Bittner continued his commitment to serve the community, creating the Community Operations Office, which operates numerous programs, including the Citizens Police Academy, Citizens Academy for Teenage Students, CATS Academy, Neighborhood Watch Program, National Night Out, Holiday Food Drive, Shop with a Cop, ALICE Training, and the Home and Business Safety Assessments. And whereas Chief Bittner changed the culture of the police department through his leadership skills, dedication, and guidance, he promoted officers processing leadership qualities, and he helped lead the department to earn the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement, CALIA, in March 2021. The national accreditation is the gold standard for public safety. And whereas the city of Mayfield Heights wishes to extend our appreciation to Chief Bittner for his many significant contributions to the police department and the community, and wish him a well-earned respite, quality time to spend with his 3 children, and many years of happiness with his wife Leslie in Florida. And now, therefore, I, Anthony DeSico, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Mayfield Heights, state of Ohio, and on behalf of the entire city council, the administration, and all present, do hereby officially congratulate Chief Fred W. Bittner upon his retirement and extend best wishes for continued success, good health, and much happiness in the years to come, and assure him that the city of Mayfield Heights will remain forever enriched by his devoted service. In witness whereof, I have hereto subscribed my name and caused the seal of the city of Mayfield Heights to be affixed this 24th day of January, 2022. Congratulations. We also have a plaque for the chief commemorating his service to the years in the city.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you, council. Thank you, members of the community. It's very nice that I happened to time this up on a night where we had a big group here, and I can thank the members of the city that I proudly served for 32 years. The programs, the things I did were designed to help you all in your community and have a safer, place to live and call home. And I've enjoyed it serving here and working with my fellow employees that are going to remain and keep you safe and keep the city moving in the right direction. And I'm going to be moving in the direction south of Florida for the winter to avoid that white stuff that's out there now. But I appreciate it, everybody, the mayor and council. Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda this evening is correspondence and announcements. Does any member of council have any correspondence or announcements?
Madam President.
Mr. DeJohn.
So I want to play something that a resident wanted to address to us. So I'll.
My name is Beverly Horsack. I live at 1521 Parker Drive. I just been having an issue with a neighbor at 1525 Parker Drive, the Powell family, Powell. They have consistently left their light on for 12 to 18 hours a night. The light is very bright. It comes into my house. I have gotten new curtains, new blinds, whatever, to keep the light from coming in my home. I can't even go downstairs in my laundry room without the light shining.
It stopped.
My name is Beverly Horsack. I live
Apologize.
at 1521 Parker Drive. I just been having an issue with a neighbor at 1525 Parker Drive, the Powell family, Powell. They have consistently left their light on for 12 to 18 hours a night. The light is very bright. It comes into my house. I have gotten new curtains, new blinds, whatever, to keep the light from coming in my home. I can't even go downstairs in my laundry room without the light shining on all my detergents that I have on a shelf. I've done nothing to these people. I don't understand why they're allowed to have a bright light shining into my home, shining into my garage, shining into my backyard. It even comes into my bathroom. I shouldn't have to be told how to live in my home by Mr. Powell going up to the building department saying that she should get darkening shades and keep them closed. This is my home. I thought there was freedom in my home. I didn't think I had to live under someone's order. I've lived here all my life, and I'm 64 years old, and I've never had such a disrespectful, vindictive, narcissist neighbor as he is. So I asked for help from the city. Lenny has helped me in the building department. Tom Teresi has helped me in the building department. Tom Jameson has helped me in the building department, and they all think this is wrong. So I'm asking if you would like this in your house, in your backyard, in your bedroom, and you can't even open a window when you want to open a window a crack without lighting up your whole bedroom. Just think about how aggravating and how upsetting you would be if you couldn't live in your home and feel safe.
Okay, Madam President, I did hand out photographs to all the council members. I would like to put them up on the overhead, could I? Thank you. So that's the shelf with all her cleaning detergent on there. One of her rooms in her house. This is her garage. You can see that. Upstairs in her house.
Yeah, they didn't turn.
Kind of hard to see. One of her windows with blinds on it, as you can see. Neighbor's house. This is her bedroom upstairs. Outside of the house. There's another photo of that. And here's her garage. I did talk with Mr. Murphy about legislation for light pollution. We currently don't have any, according to this resident. And I did look, we only have it for commercial property. We don't have any for residential property. So I would like to refer this to the building committee to write up legislation that if somebody's going to keep lights on all night, that they should either have motion detection sensing or they should be regulated with the lumens when it comes on, or maybe both. And it should be shielded, definitely should be shielded. So So I think we can refer this to the building committee, and we should
Since
act
we-
on this as fast as we can.
Since we don't have legislation on it, we can do legislative and building possibly.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And after the assignments are made this evening, I'll address whoever is on that committee to go ahead and schedule a meeting for you.
Okay, great, thank
Okay.
you. And
Thank
just
you.
not to change the subject, but I do have the waste legislation now completed, so I'll give you a copy to give to Mr. Murphy so he can write it, but I did make some necessary changes in it, so it can pass through committee as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Madam President?
Sure. Mayor,
I think meanwhile, while you're working on legislation, maybe we should have the community relations officers maybe go try to talk to the neighbors and see if we can get something done quicker rather than waiting for legislation.
okay. I can email Mr. Paquette and Mr. Woods.
So, Madam President, this has gone to court, but I guess our prosecutor said he didn't have any basis to prosecute this man, and the building department saying if you create legislation, then that'll give him some basis to prosecute.
Okay. Thank you for all the information you provided for us. Did you have something else?
Yeah, no, just the waste legislation.
Okay. Oh. All right, thank you. All right. Mrs. Tressi.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I do have 2 emails that I have been asked to read by the residents. Dear Mayfield Heights Council, I purchased my home at 6560 Gates Mills Boulevard 42 years ago, where the highest real estate is located in Mayfield Heights because of the beautiful median strip, which offers privacy, security, and beautiful views from our neighborhood. The median strip is a treasure that is enjoyed by all who are passing by. The whole of Gates Mills Boulevard, including Gates Mills and Pepper Pike sections, is a treasure that must be preserved for future generations. We are now faced with a mayor that would desecrate our 3/4-mile section of the boulevard by paving over, building on, and totally destroying the beauty of mature trees and green grass. He proposes to replant with 1-inch trees that will be beautiful in 10 years. This is ridiculous. This proposed trail will connect with nothing and goes nowhere. This mayor is trying to connect with our median strip to the government-assisted housing on Marsal, Walmart, which is trash heaven, and Eastgate Shopping Center. This definitely affects the security which I currently feel in my home. I now have the luxury of having packages left at my front door without having them stolen, and should I forget to lock my front door, no worries. Our mailboxes are also located at the street and could easily be tampered with. Our mayor's latest proposal suggests that 240 people a day will use this trail in season. With eliminating the parking on the median strip, these visitors will have to park on Longridge, which runs along the east side of my property. Now I have to worry about strangers that may trespass into my in-ground pool area and traffic and parking on the side street. This situation will definitely create a major hazard, not only for my own property, but for school bus access and local traffic ingress and egress. In closing, let me say that my husband, the Honorable James F. Kilcoyne, and I are 100% against the trail. We have spoken with appraisers of real estate and have been told our real estate values will be negatively impacted if this trail goes forward. If it becomes necessary, we are prepared to litigate this matter. Please don't let it come to this. Patricia Alvarez and Judge James F. Kilcoyne, sent from their iPad. That was one, and the second email was from Kelly Thompson. My name is Kelly Thompson. My partner, Michael Halapi, and I live at 6330 Eastendale. I chose this location 15 years ago because of the neighborhood tranquility being so close to so many necessities, yet the fact that it is hidden and not part of the hustle and bustle of the city. Michael and I oppose the trail proposal. So many of my neighbors have done due diligence and found so many reasons why this is a bad idea, from increased traffic and safety issues to poorly executed planning, a lack of true transparency to the community, and the possibility of future additions that would truly disrupt the tranquility of why residents chose to live in the neighborhood, not to mention that my specific neighborhood will be impacted by the lack of parking concern. Also, there had been mentioned that the trail will connect with other communities to ours. How and when would this happen? Those of us that live in the impacted community see how dangerous the intersections are at times. The Cedar Road crossing is challenging for drivers on a regular basis. Wrong-way turns, I've witnessed many over the years. Drivers are confused at the Woodhawk roundabout all the time, and now you want to add crosswalks to that mix. Even though the bicyclists want equal rights as cars and claim to respect the rules of the road, they just don't. If there isn't cross-traffic, cyclists just go. I don't see that changing either. Just because there is funding for something non-essential doesn't mean we have to force the square peg into the round hole. The travel project is an unnecessary waste of funding. Please focus on making our community a safer place to live. I will continue to use the Metro Parks for my trail walks as I've been doing my whole life. We are so fortunate to have that amazing system in our backyard. Please vote no for the proposed Gates Mills Trail. Thank you, Kelly Thompson and Michael Hallaby. Those were the two emails I received to be read this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Tressi. Is there anybody else that would like? Mr. DeJohn?
I have a couple emails for Gates Mills. The first one, dear gentlemen, I hope you read I hope you read the article by Steve Litt on Cleveland.com. The article covers all good reasons to support a planned medium trail on Gates Mills Boulevard. Your opposition to this project is weak in comparison. If you succeed in killing it, I will campaign for your opponents when you're up for re-election. Don't discount the power of social media. Also, don't assume I'm a young person because I'm 68. He's just a little bit older than I am. The next is, I live at 6420 Eastendale Road, and I am opposed to the Gates Mills Boulevard project. I believe this is a waste of taxpayer money. I think it would be better to spend money on connecting Long Ridge and Marshfield to Gates Mills Boulevard with continuous sidewalks along Gates Mills Boulevard. This way, families with young children, stroller pushers, and wheelchair residents, my mother, does not have to cross the very busy Gates Mills Boulevard just to get to the middle to walk a trail that goes nowhere. I also believe the trail that goes to nowhere is not a good idea. The money invested in this project could be better used in paving Eastendale, which has not been redone in almost 20 years. Again, I do not support this project. You are free to read this at the next council meeting. Yes, this is from, I can't really pronounce the name. Can you help me, please?
Amina Brahim Jimenez.
Thank you. That's okay. This next email was from Susan Ryder. I am against the project proposed to go down the median of Gates Mills Boulevard. I do not understand the big deal with connecting all communities around Cleveland with these paths. We have been without them so long and do not need for our city to spend the funds to create, maintain, or repair these paths. These funds can be used for something more useful. And the real cyclist enthusiast will still use the road because they can't ride fast enough on the path. Thank you for letting me submit my opinion, Susan Ryder. Now, there was a few more that were sent to us that Mrs. Snyder's going to read.
Does anybody else have any comments? Okay. I have quite a few letters here. Most of the letters were addressed to all members of council, and just some to myself and a few to myself and Mrs. Tressi. So I will read as many that asked to be read this evening for the record, but we have a stack. Mr. Ward has the other stack of a lot of the other emails that have come. that we either read at the last meeting or were just addressed to us. So the first is from Lisa Gill. Dear Council President Snyder and the rest of City Council, my husband sent the email below earlier, and I would like to add to it. I am writing in support of the Greenway project up for vote in Mayfield Heights. I moved with my husband from Beechwood to Mayfield Heights 2.5 years ago, and we are very happy with our location. I love so many things about the area. However, I am really missing a place to walk near my neighborhood, which is what most of the neighboring communities do have. When I was living in Beechwood, I would meet up with my neighbors to walk at the Beechwood Park on a weekly basis, and we truly loved it. I have tried to walk along Gates Mills by the median to get to our other neighborhoods to walk around, but there is really too much traffic to be safe. Using the large median area and converting it into a walking path for Mayfield Heights residents would not only be a much better use of land, but would also be a wonderful addition to the community and deserves more planning and consideration. Please vote in favor of the Greenway project, and thank you for your time. Lisa Gill, Bridgeport Way. Dear Council President Snyder and the rest of City Council, my wife and I moved to Mayfield Heights 2.5 years ago and have really enjoyed the location. However, what is missing is a walking path. The Greenway project appears to be a logical extension of what our neighboring communities have already done. Prior to our move to Mayfield Heights, we lived in Beechwood for 27 years, and the path they created in the median on Shaker Boulevard was a great addition. In fact, it was such a great idea that the Shaker added on an extension to that path. We walked with neighbors, walked our dog, rode bikes, and enjoyed the path very much. I am sure that the median on Gates Mills could be used the same way. Additionally, there is too much foot traffic on Gates Mills, and with limited sidelines due to the rolling topography, it is often hazard to both pedestrians and the drivers. The lack of sidewalks creates the environment where neighbors are not mobile unless they drive. I understand the hesitancy to add in which what could be viewed as public meeting place and have non-residents walking through the neighborhood, but as a frequent user of an alternative walking area within close proximity, I don't see that as an issue. We are close to Acacia Park at Metro Parks off Assam Center, Beechwood Shaker, Medium Pass, and others, and those are all safe locations. The median is a beautiful strip of land that can be used by the neighborhood in a better way. Oop, the rest of this letter is, sorry. It would allow us to meet and talk with neighbors who live in the area that we have not met yet and have never met us. Please vote in favor of the Greenway project. Feel free to read my email to council as I will not be in attendance. Stephen Gill, and they live over by Bridgeport. Next is greetings. Hope all is well with everyone in your families. Gail, I think the brick name sale is a good idea. Nino, thank you for your line of questioning the last meeting, being admonished by the attorney and mayor, which was viewed very unprofessional, means you hit a chord. Keep up the good work, and in my opinion, that is a role of the council. My concern is with the bias and unprofessional stance by persons within these meetings and certainly behind the scenes regarding the city projects. Recent article by Stephen Litt of Cleveland.com is about Sean Ward and the Gates Mills project on your plate today. I have attached for your reference some points as it relates to Sean Ward and the article quoted. And then he has a bunch of points. Political, 2 instances where he appears political, refers to trashed by a last-minute reversal in political support, and vocal minority of residents opposed to the project. Shouldn't he just present facts to council and residents? Fair and balanced, 5 cases that do not appear to be to represent both sides. Reference to outgoing Police Chief Bittner. This is strictly an opinion and leads the reader and resident with a biased approach. A discussion about no indicator of increase in crime. Where are the statistics to back up this opinion? This is biased. Reference to a poll on 31 of 57 residents. Again, where are supporting documents and the other side of the discussion? Inflammatory language. 1 case where he refers to the approval as a no-brainer. A direct insult to persons not in line with his thinking. Deceit, information avoidance, 3 cases. During the no-brainer paragraph, he finally alludes to the real person, or for the reason the project was NOACA regional plan. However, he is careful not to mention the agency, nor provide a clear picture for the residents and the readers to make the thoughtful decision. The other two cases involve discussion on surrounding political figures and in the November Community Connection letter. Cherry-picking testimonials who have vested interest in the project from outside our community. FYI, the Pepper Pike Brainerd Roundabout project took a couple of years and many disruptions to that section. I rarely see anyone using as I pass around that area often. I am certain it costs a lot of money. Discrimination, one case. Seriously, he states that persons opposed to the project over 80 years old, and they are not the future of Pepper Pike. Enough said, coming from a non-resident. A threat and inappropriate. The article names current council members DeJohn and Mano and sounds like a call to action. Also, Sean states it's frustrating. While understandable for his frustration due to his learnings, his role is to present facts and let City Council decide. As for the call to action, you should all be concerned, and censure serious discussion should be recommended for the Recreation Director. An inflammatory one, certainly the most disturbing, however not certain who made the statement, either the writer or Sean. Under the paragraph titled Possible Canyard, its reference is race and crime. In all my years here, I have never come across this, and to write this in an article is a cause for concern. Best regards, Rick Jaworby on Woodhawk Drive. Okay. Hi, my name is Stephanie Johnson, and I am emailing to express my support for the creation of Gates Mills Connector Trail. My husband and I recently purchased our first home in Mayfield Heights on Gates Mills Boulevard, and one of the things that really drew us to the neighborhood was the possibility of a beautiful community green space a few steps away from our home. Gates Mills Boulevard does not have any sidewalks, and we would love to be able to take walks to exercise and connect with our neighbors. We also firmly believe that everyone in Mayfield Heights deserves access to green space. We really hope the City Council votes in favor of moving forward with the Gates Mills Boulevard Connector Trail. We also hope that some of the amenities that were removed from the plan, such as benches, would be reintroduced. Sincerely, Stephanie Johnson and Warren Boyd, and they live on Gates Mills Boulevard. This is from, hello, my name is James Goodwin. I vote and own my own home on Eastendale Road. I am not able to attend the meeting on 110, but would like my message to be read to the public. And it wasn't that evening. So my wife and I are in favor of building a trail without significant amenities along the median of Gates Mills Boulevard to provide a safe and walking and biking path for my family. I agree that significant amenities should not be added to the median. However, adding a walking trail that is largely paid for seems like one of the easiest decisions council should face all year. To oppose a simple walking and biking trail is essentially taking a stand against sidewalks, which makes no sense. Gates Mills Boulevard is one of the fewest streets in the city without a sidewalk, and I ask residents of the street to join the rest of the city. Gates Mills Boulevard is already used by bikers and walkers, and it would be much safer to have a trail. To opponents who say a trail in the median is unsafe, I ask, are sidewalks unsafe in the rest of the city? Should we ban or tear up sidewalks on busy streets to make Mayfield Heights less connected? It just does not make sense to oppose this measure on the basis of safety or cost. This would not be an attraction. This would not be an attraction that would bring people from across the area. Instead, the trail would be primarily used by local residents, and it would be nice to have another safe path to walk on with my family. This measure is an easy, low-cost win for Mayfield Heights. I ask for City Council to please vote in favor of moving forward with the trail. Thank you, James Goodwin. Jennifer Carlino. Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Carlino. I vote, I own my home, and I live at 6442 Fairhaven Road. I am not able to attend the council meeting, so I would like my message to be read at the meeting and entered into public record. I am in favor of building a simple trail along the median on Gates Mills, along with crosswalks, to provide a safe walking and biking path for my family. This trail will provide access from my neighborhood to areas of town, including the shopping district, the new aquatic center, and parks. I believe the green space improvements provided by the awarded grant would be a wonderful addition to our neighborhood. I ask City Council to please vote in favor of moving forward with the trail plan. Thank you, Jennifer. Our names are Natalie and Felix Shefflin. We live at 2034 Marshfield Road, Mayfield Heights. We own our home since 1988, over 33 years. We pay taxes. We are in favor of the trail down Gates Mills Boulevard and looking forward to using it. Please read this out loud at the meeting since I am not able to attend due to foot surgery. Sincerely, Natalie Shefflin. This is from Christine Kalia. Hello, my name is Christine Kalia. I own my home, and I live on 1630 Algiers in Mayfield Heights. I am not able to attend the meeting on 124, but I would like this message to be read into public record. I am in favor of building a trail along the median on Gates Mills Boulevard, along with crosswalks to provide a safe walking and biking path for area families. This trail will provide access for residents of the neighborhood to areas of town, including the shopping district and the new aquatic center. This walkability is just what we need to continue to attract families to the Mayfield Heights community. I believe the green space improvements provided by the awarded grant will be a wonderful addition, and I ask the City Council to please vote in favor in moving forward with this trail. Dear Mayfield Heights City Council, the improvements happening in our city are great. We look forward to the new and enhanced amenities that are in the works for the aquatic center and the main park. There is no denying a lot of work has gone into ideas for the Gates Mills Boulevard Trail. On paper, the idea is a great one, practically speaking, but I am concerned. At least for now, the trail does lead to nowhere. Articles and discussions mention the connectivity to Beechwood and Shaker trails, but the Pepper Pike Trail funding has not been approved. If approved, it will likely take years to come to fruition. In the meantime, our trail will lead to Cedar Road and end at the confusing wide intersection. Doesn't it at least make sense to wait until the trail reaches Cedar Road from Pepper Pike to discuss adding 3/4 of a mile of an addition? In the meantime, maybe we can spend $112,000 that it will be reportedly cost for this design and engineering costs, plus $115,000 that the city will owe for the balance due on the trail, on our crumbling streets that have been neglected for years. I like the idea of a simple trail, better landscaping, and improved drainage, but I am extremely concerned after all the misinformation and changes to the plan. I feel like there isn't enough transparency and that adjustments in the plan will continue to occur with or without knowledge. A simple trail sounds great, but then what happens when someone crossing gets hit by a car? Up goes a flashing beacon that we were promised is not in the final plans. What happens when there starts to be more trash along Gates Mills Boulevard? Perhaps trash cans will appear along the trail. What happens when people start parking along the end of Long Ridge and Marshfield, making it difficult to drive in and out of a street safely? Will a parking lot be added? Can council guarantee that they will not add back these items later? Without this assurance, I could not be in favor of the trail. Thank you for your time, Sharon Antonelli, Long Ridge Road. And this one is, Dear City Council members and Secretary, my husband and I are 22 years plus residents of Woodhawk Drive. I am writing regarding the median trail project proposed for the installation down the median on Gates Mills Boulevard at Mayfield Heights. I have just finished reading a lengthy letter from 2 residents on Gates Mills opposing the project for assorted reasons. My husband and I, for the record, strongly support this project and cannot wait for it to happen. As pet owners who are constant peril of being run over along with our pets by distracted drivers, especially during the winter months, we would love to have the safety of a designated walking path to keep us out of the streets. As I am sure most of you are aware, there are not many sidewalk offerings in our neighborhood, and the few we do have are completely hindered by driveway snowplowers dumping driveway snow on the sidewalks. Just yesterday, we were driving home from Beechwood walking path, you know, the one we would be connecting to, and thinking how nice and safe it would be to walk from our house down to the boulevard and hop on the path. The plans look beautiful, well thought out, and I believe only enhance our properties and enrich our neighborhoods. I know I have seen many of the people who utilize Beechwood's path, whether for walking, biking, or running, and have never heard of any issues regarding safety for the neighbors, many of whom live on Shaker Boulevard. Because of my profession, I am in contact with hundreds of people every week who live in the Heights area, including Mayfield Heights and Gates Mills. The residents living on the Parkway love their access to the path. I must wonder if any of the posers have visited Beechwood Park to experience just how nice this could be for our community. Besides the wide pathway, which is plowed in the winter, there are regularly appointed wastebaskets, pet pickup and bag stands, resting benches, and speed limits for bikers. The rules of the park and path are also stated at regular intervals. Currently, the city of Mayfield Heights is taking care of maintenance of their portion of Gates Mills Boulevard. I see city employees mowing, trimming, and picking up whatever trash ends up on the median, especially after trash pickup day for the residents living on the boulevard. I can only believe the city would continue with their responsibility to maintain the median. I will close with a quote from Steve Litt of the Cleveland Plain Dealer in his article on January 23rd. If the opponents prevail and Mayfield Heights drops its trail plan, the project is likely to get built in the future after Pepper Pike builds a recreational path to the city's doorstep, making it blindingly obvious that the trail should continue to the east. By then, however, the cost will have risen and the residents will have missed out of years of enjoyment. I too would have liked to have heard about the project much sooner so that I could have been more active in supporting this project. Thank you, Nancy Taylor, Woodhawk Drive. Dear Sean Ward and the Mayfield Heights City Council, we are a young family that reside off of Gates Mills. We are for the trail and believe it would be beneficial not only for our family but for the surrounding residents as well. Living off of the main street without sidewalks limits the walks we take as a family. There is currently no safe way to push a stroller or wagon, walk a dog, or even for our daughter to ride her bike. The trail would provide a safe place for riders, walkers, and joggers, and essential for pedestrians' safety. In this winter months, the median is snow-covered and difficult for older dogs or even younger ones to walk. The trail would be an enhancement for the community and could lead to future development of trails, which is an added benefit. Mayfield Heights is in need of new updated areas for the children, as we currently have to travel to surrounding cities for the kids to play or walk safely. We are the future of Mayfield Heights, and we ask that you move forward with a project for safety of our community. We are unable to attend the meeting, but do ask that this email be read and our vote accounted for. Thank you, Jennifer Ariane at Kingswood Drive. My name is Eric Eccleston. My spouse and I are proud new homeowners and residents of Southeast Mayfield Heights. We are writing to voice our ardent support for the Gates Mills Boulevard Connector Trail. After more than 30 years of military service, we are returning to the Cleveland area to begin an exciting new chapter of our lives. After much research, we chose to live and work within Mayfield Heights for several reasons. Great schools, ready access to transportation infrastructure, and a high-tech industrial base. All important reasons. But more importantly, we chose Mayfield Heights for the vision of its city council members and engaged neighbors. We chose to invest in the future of Mayfield Heights. My family and I have had the pleasure of living in many wonderful communities throughout the United States and in Europe over the last 3 decades. And a common feature of all of these great communities was their investment in active public infrastructure like parks, recreation centers, walking paths, and bike trails. In every meaningful way, investment in active public infrastructure is beneficial for community and has consistently demonstrated positive return on investment. It increases local business, reduces crime, improves public health, lowers medical costs, and enhances property values. Additionally, with the increase in remote work opportunities, people have more options on where to live and work. As detailed on real estate, public health, and quality of life websites, the area of Mayfield Heights near Gates Mills Boulevard maintains a walk score of 6 out of 100, car dependent, and a bike score of 28 out of 100, minimal bike infrastructure. This is not sufficient for our future. The last 2 years of lockdowns and restrictions have demonstrated that isolation is destructive to the physical and emotional well-being of our neighbors and our communities. Investment in our public space will strengthen the bonds of our community, and it is essential to be the positive future of Mayfield Heights. Thank you for your vision and your support for Gates Mills Boulevard Connector Trail. Respectfully, Eric and Elizabeth Elkison on Cedar Road in Mayfield Heights. I would like this meeting shared this evening. I live at 6449 Fairhaven Road. Here we go. I'm sorry. We'll have to look at this project every day, so it is very important to me that it's done tastefully, especially since I am a landscape design and building contractor. I am now in favor of this proposed trail, unlike the original plan, as long as the existing trees are to remain and be supplemented by the new ones. And it looks like that will be the case. And this is from Jamie DeLauro. She actually wanted this read at the last meeting, so I emailed her back and said that I would read it this evening. City Council, I may not be in attendance, and Council has my permission to read this email. I am Teresa Angelo Del Balso, resident of Mayfield Heights, 1172 Lander Road. I attended the December council meeting and voiced my concerns after hearing Sean Warren's proposal. After the meeting, not only were most of the concerns not addressed, but more concerns. The reason being is, with all due respect, Sean Ward skirt-tailed his way around questions that were asked by a few council members. And instead of answering the questions, Sean continued to talk about how the Gates Mills Boulevard Trail will enhance and beautify our city. Sean Ward is trying so desperately to get the approval of this grant for the future of our city and long-term goals. With all due respect, he is failing to provide us, the city, as well as council, all the detailed information. I feel we are being misled, and it is disturbing and concerning. Sean Ward is not addressing safety and security issues, providing property evaluation by city officials, providing written plans. Sean Ward should submit a re-proposal to every resident of the city first, remove dead trees in our community and replant new ones to beautify our city first, repair and rebuild all plaza entrances that are falling apart first, beautify our city park, especially drag a pool in the basketball court that is just taking up space and is an eyesore first. Focus on our young generation by proposing a rec center first. Listen to our community first. Speaking of listening, I want to say I took offense to what a resident said at the last meeting. This young man mentioned in his opinion that the older generation do not like and may be afraid of change. This is false accusation, and I take offense to that. And again, I may not be in attendance. Please read my email. Thank you for your time. Teresa Angelo Del Balso. Next is, Dear Mayfield Heights Council members, we are writing to you regarding the proposed bike trails on Gates Mills Boulevard and would like this letter included as public record for the City Council meeting on Monday, January 24th. We are Kathleen and Maureen Kreisky and live at 6567 Longridge Road. We encourage you to vote against the proposed bike trail for the following reasons. There have been a number of changes causing confusion as to what is actually being included as part of this trail project. Initial discussions including parking, flashing crossing lights, shrubs and trees, trash cans, restroom benches, and kiosks. The strip on Gates Mills Boulevard is not very big and is not even reasonable to consider all of these amenities. Subsequent meetings, discussions especially stated that these had been removed, although is not documented in writing and as far as we know is still listed in the grant proposal. These amenities are not needed and we should focus on maintaining and preserving the natural green space of this area. Putting a trail on a busy street definitely poses safety issues. We have lived in this neighborhood for 24 years and have seen accidents and vehicles that sped down the street. There are a lot of neighborhood residents that drive across the median strip on a daily basis, going in and out of the neighborhood. There are rescue squads going to Hillcrest Hospital to avoid Mayfield Road traffic and large groups of bicyclists who constantly use the road throughout the year. These are competitive bicyclists that will continue to use the road rather than proposed serpentine trail. Our concern is for the safety of our residents and specifically the younger children who may cross the busy street. Shouldn't we consider the potential risk of choosing this busy street? We chose the neighborhood because of its beauty and green space. Some residents have complained about walking on the median and the fact there were no sidewalks or cul-de-sacs or cut-through streets to limit their access. Didn't they consider this before buying their home? We are surrounded by beautiful parks with North and South Sugar and reservations within 10-minute drive. Regarding connectivity, this trail borders on Cedar Road and the busy Som Center traffic circle that many vehicles are, including RTA buses. Some days it's challenged by drivers around the circle, let alone trying to walk it. Also, there's a significant traffic from Woodhawk Drive and Sunoco gas station and a convenience store. Also, neither Gates Mills or Pepper Pike have yet to commit to building their own trails. Gates Mills Boulevard residents have had to continue to have flooding issues. How this will impact the sewer and water infrastructure. What is the actual cost of the project? Who will be responsible for maintaining the trail? And has this ever been included in the cost estimates? In summary, although the proposed trail is a nice concept, the residents should have been involved and asked for suggestions and input before the proposal was done. Council members deserve to know all the facts, including the specific details of the project and accurate cost estimates, especially those impacting city, before casting a vote for the trail. Thank you for your time and consideration. There are many more. I don't know. There's a lot. Okay, the next one is from Mr. Vic Ibis. Please read at the 1/24/2022 meeting as we will all be at work. First, I would like to address Mr. Litt, who wrote, in my opinion, a scathing, baiting column in Cleveland.com. Aside from statistical points regarding the history of Gates Mills Boulevard and opinions from other communities where the areas in question are wider and longer, Mr. Litt suggested that Sean Ward was concerned about the majority white eastern Cuyahoga County suburb. That could mean fear of minorities and crime. This is total nonsense and very dangerous retort. As 22-year-old resident on Gates Mills Boulevard, I have never been asked in an email poll what my opinion might be. That directly affects my quality of life. As a 22-year-old resident, I have enjoyed walking on the median strip with my husband, dog, friends. I have never walked in gutters. As a 22-year-old resident, I was not part of the citywide survey that shows 36% majority in favor of the path. That 36% came out to less than 200 people, approximately 1% of the city population. That directly affects my quality of life. There are way too many unanswered questions. Was there any independent traffic study ever done? What is the massive three-quarter of a mile path going to nowhere connect to? Knollwood and Acacia cemeteries, which have miles of gorgeous grounds with paths that people walk, ride, and run on a daily basis. What will this do to my taxes? What will it do to yours? When will the lights and the flashing beacons be put in? And how will the flashing beacon in front of my yard affect my quality of life? And how will it affect yours? Has the city been able to keep up with Oakville Park? Clear of illegal activities on the grounds? Benches, pavilions? No. Unfortunately, one can often go there and see the remnants and reminders of drug and alcohol use, littering, a disrespectful treatment of what should be a great area for family and friends. Let's get these problems fixed first, before we intentionally add more, with no ability to address the concerns. The city of Mayfield Heights is 48.3% home ownership as of 2019 census. This compares with Pepper Pike at 98.4%. By these statistics, Mayfield has opened its doors to a majority transient population. The basic needs of the communities are completely different. One cannot compare the two. It is similar to comparing a golf ball and a football. The entire situation has become complete and utter cluster, starting with the city wanting to directly affect my quality of life, without even asking me. They have gone through every back alley and sneak meetings and misinformation to keep the specific Gates Mills residents ill-informed at best. non-disclosure, misinformation, missing information, the ability or unwillingness to speak directly to the specific taxpayers and owners that will be directly affected by this ugly situation. A year and a half ago, in this massive 3/4-mile stretch of only green space in Mayfield, the city wanted 20 parking spaces, public restrooms, park benches, picnic tables, doggy waste stations, kiosks, water fountains, and landscaping to block that view I pay for. Thank goodness a few diligent folks saw between the lines and realized how awful this would have been. Still don't want it, still don't need it. Thank you for your time, Sherry and Victor Baskin. Good evening, Mayor DeSico, Council and Recreation Director Sean Ward. I am unable to attend Monday's meeting due to work obligations, so I'm sending an email in support of the trail. It will be a wonderful addition to our community and eventually connect the east side cities and offer a fabulous multi-trail. It is absurd to think that this will bring crime into the neighborhood. I can't imagine a criminal riding a bicycle. Can you? The types of people this will serve are families and individuals looking to improve their health and meet their neighbors. Thank you to those who support this and you, Sean, for always wanting to move forward. Best regards, Annette Susan Jerome on Summit Drive. This is from, let's see, Ellen Rabb. Dear Councilwoman Snyder, I am writing in support of the Greenway project up for a vote tomorrow, Mayfield Heights. My husband and I moved here 2 years ago, and we are unable to walk anywhere safely in our neighborhood. Unfortunately, there are no sidewalks anywhere near our development. Cedar, Lander, and Lander Haven are not only filled with potholes, but have trucks and cars speeding by as well as we walk. The Greenway would be a perfect place to walk more safely for many of us, and it would be unfortunate to pass up the money given to the city for this project. Please consider the needs of all residents when voting tomorrow. Ellen Robb. This is, I am writing to reaffirm that a resident of Gates Mills Boulevard, I am in complete agreement with the advocates of the proposed Gates Mills path. Per the text in the following email, which was sent individually to each council member on 12/9, I remain hopeful that you will do the right thing for our city by approving this path. And then she said, I am writing to let you know that while I support the current scaled-down version of the plan for Gates Mills Boulevard, I am opposed to a possible future enhanced plan that would include restrooms and playground and more lighting. As a Gates Mills resident, I have seen firsthand how dangerous it has to have so many bikes and pedestrians in the street, which is the main reason for my support. The consideration that the city has given to the residents in soliciting their views and modifying plans based on that feedback was appreciated and is another reason for my support of the plan. In addition, it is my understanding that due to the American Rescue Plan, there is significantly more funding in the state's budget for path projects. So it only makes sense that this city council act quickly to approve this path, which will allow for a request to increase the state's allocation in order to reduce the city's responsibility. Thank you for your commitment to Mayfield Heights and all your hard work. Best wishes for a happy, healthy holiday season. Jan Kovan, Gates Mills Boulevard. Dear City Council members, I was initially opposed to the Gates Mills Boulevard Trail project. Sean Ward then explained that parking and all amenities were being eliminated and that only a simple path straight down the middle was included in the modified proposal. I was willing to accept the compromise proposal because it seemed more reasonable, but obviously only with the understanding that the parking and the amenities would not be added in the future. Having spoken with our residents, I am very much in doubt of what the project will actually look like now and in the future. I renew my original objections, and I am totally opposed to the Gates Mills Boulevard Trail. In essence, government is attempting to replace a green space with a green space that is slightly more usable to some residents and disturbing to other residents, thereby adding no additional green space to the community while spending almost $800,000 or likely more. I'm sure proponents only consider the cost to be $130,000 because the rest is just grant money. From that point of view, you're still wasting $130,000 of Mayfield Heights citizens' money and about $650,000 of other people's money that could be used to provide needed benefits to society. Would this project even seriously be considered without the grant money? The Gates Mills Boulevard median provides a unique atmosphere that is rare. In most suburbs, and many residents purchase their homes because of the median and enjoy the peacefulness and privacy that it provides. Properties adjacent to Mayfield Heights Park certainly aren't more valuable than other properties located nearby. So we should expect that Gates Mills Boulevard property values will decrease. Places to run, walk, bike, or sit on benches already exist in Mayfield Heights with parking. The surmise of proponents that no crime will ensure after adding parking spaces and benches is counter to common sense and human nature. Crime and calls to the police will increase. Finally, since Sean brought it to my attention, I find Steve Litt's recent commentary published on Cleveland.com about the trail to be elitist, dismissive of any possible criticism of the project, and lacking in thoroughness. As just one of my examples, how can any project be promoted so empathetically? He called it a no-brainer, without any discussion of the reasonableness of the cost or possible uses of the funds. He further loses the credibility by implying that racism is somehow a factor in dissent. His tactic of playing the race card is offensive, intended to silent critics and not part of this debate. Thank you for considering my position on this issue. Please vote against going forward with the Gates Mills Trail. Joseph Dia, Gates Mills. Hello, City Council members. I am unable to make the meeting, but wanted to voice my support to continue moving forward with the bike trail. I understand there might be some outlying questions, but I think those can be addressed while still moving forward with the plans. I think the focus on Mayfield's family-friendly, bike-friendly, and more walkable is a great idea. I would love for these trails to continue and connect even more of the city together. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Kelly Davis, Wharton Boulevard. Contrary to the belief of some Mayfield Heights octogenarians, I am 86-year-old, thank you, I am 86 years old and a walker. Unfortunately, because of a prior commitment, I cannot attend Monday's meeting, but I feel I have to speak out for many residents who do walk for exercise, regardless of my age. I am a walker in the streets of Gates Mills Boulevard. Because there are no sidewalks, only uncaring drivers who force me and others to move onto the snow or mud-covered median for safety reasons to avoid